James Twin for the untouchable true school sports. Let's go, baby. Bow!
Be careful what you wish for because it can become a reality.
Yeah. The untouchable True School Sports Empire proudly presents something the boxing game's been missing. Hey, what's going on? It's your boy BT, and I came here to talk some boxing with the thousands of True School Sports subscribers. All right, guys, so this is a True School Sports exclusive. This you won't find the story nowhere else because this is a story that's exclusive to the True School Sports. So take with this and do with it what you want. But I'm a big fan of heavyweight boxing. I love heavyweight boxing. Heavyweight division is one of my favorite divisions in boxing. Always has been, always will be. And you guys know who my favorite heavyweight is out of all of them. And some people are like, man, BT, you got terrible taste. Some people say I got great taste. It don't matter what you think. This is my favorite heavyweight in boxing right now, and that's none other than Filip Hrgovic. Yes, the Croatian sensation, the fighting pride of Croatia. You know, it's been some time since any of us have really heard from Filip Hrgovic. He lost Daniel Dubios earlier this year in a heartbreaking loss. He got stopped, and then he's been quiet. He's been quiet for 6 months. I've tried to get a hold of Filip Hrgovic 3 times, you know, once on the day of the fight after he lost. The other, I think, was it in September, and then earlier this month in December. All 3 times Hrgovic has seen on my messages on Instagram. He's liked the messages, but no response as far as words. So then it dawned on me, and I remembered that earlier in the year, Hrgovic and I were texting on WhatsApp. But, I don't really use WhatsApp like that when I'm in the States, but I've been using it a lot in Japan. So I decided to shoot him a long text and pretty much just check up on him and ask him, you know, is he going to come back? Pretty much. And as you guys saw in the beginning of this video, Filip Hrgovic has confirmed with me exclusively that he will be coming back to boxing. So that whole thing that he said about if he loses to Dubois, he'll retire. I mean, he was just talking shit, you know. It's probably something he shouldn't have said because you're just even putting that out there, you know, subconsciously you're putting out the fact that you might lose. Well, I didn't like it when he was doing that. It was a bit off, but nonetheless, he's going to be coming back to boxing. He's going to continue to fight. He stated that he is, in fact, working on his return. To my knowledge, you know, I think that I still believe he works with the manager, Keith Conley, who is still one of the more influential managers in boxing. So that's a positive for him. And as far as Hrgovic in this place in the heavyweight division, he's still, even with the loss to Dubois, if you will compare Hrgovic's performance in his loss to Dubois to Anthony Joshua's performance in the loss to Dubois, then his loss has actually aged very well because he performed significantly better than Anthony Joshua did against Dubois. When Hrgovic fought Dubois was able to be a lot more physical in his fight than he was with Joshua. You know, he was coming in with his head. You know, obviously he imposed his size very well and was able to get away with some, you know, borderline dirty stuff on Hrgovic. That's just the truth. He was very physical. Hrgovic couldn't handle the physicality in the end, and that's a big part of why Dubois won. When Joshua fought Dubois, the minute Dubois started doing that physical roughhousing stuff that he did with Hrgovic, you know, the referee warned them immediately. There was no coming in with his head against Joshua, as I suspected. So, and on top of the, Hrgovic was winning rounds against Dubois. He was landing a straight right hand consistently against Joshua. He just didn't have the stamina or the durability and looked sluggish. So I think it's a training thing. I think it's probably a habitual thing in training that he's doing. He's probably one of these guys that leaves the best parts of himself in the gym and overtrains. So that's what I believe. But he's still, in my opinion, you know, with the loss, you know, I can't be biased. I can't sit here and say, oh, he's top 5 or anything like that. He's not top 5 right now. But I do think he's still a lower top 10 heavyweight right now at this stage of his career. He's got to prove himself, and I'm not sure what kind of fight he's going to get when he comes back. If I was the commissioner of boxing, and I could choose, or if I was his manager and I could choose, I would choose like a Guido Vianello, you know, a credible lower top 15 guy, fringe contender who has good stamina, who's picked up some good wins, who can test what is a weakness in his skill set right now, which is his stamina, but you know, Hrgovic would still be the favorite to beat a guy like Guido. And then if he can come through that fight, then maybe get him a fight against someone in the top 5, like, you know, Martin Bacoli, maybe the loser of Parker Dubois. Maybe you could do even the Zhang rematch, which I'm sure people will want to see because a lot of people thought Zhang won that fight. You know, so I still think there's good fights for him, and I'm not moving off my square. I still think Filip Hrgovic has to figure some things out. Not skill-wise. I think skill-wise he's fine. I don't think the issue with Filip is skills. I think he's got the skills. I don't think toughness is the problem either. I actually think he's probably too tough for his own good sometimes. So he's got the skills. He's got the toughness. What I think Hrgovic needs to really work on, in my unbiased opinion, is I think it's correcting those stamina problems he has in fights. And I think those things come from his training habits. I think he's one of these guys that leaves the best parts of himself in the gym. So maybe he's going to need to have somebody in his team pull him back in training and, you know, learn how to taper him down. Like learn how to have him train a little lighter going into, you know, in the latter part of camp, so he peaks on fight night. And that's what I think, because I've seen him in the gym enough to know that the guy that I've been seeing in the ring, in sparring and in training, is not the guy that we see oftentimes in the ring. You know, he looks a little, he's looking sluggish in a lot of these fights. So I still think on his night he could beat anybody. I think if Hrgovic corrects the things he needs to correct, I think he's still a tough out for anybody at heavyweight, and I would definitely still pick him against Joshua. I think he's still good enough to beat Dubois in a rematch. As good as Dubois has been, I think Hrgovic can still come back and avenge that loss. And I'm gonna stand on it. I still think Hrgovic can beat can win a heavyweight title, become champion. So yeah, that's the news here on True School Sports. As I sit here and I found this random ass park. I've been staying in Japan. I've stayed in Japan in this particular area 3 times. I've never ever seen this park. So this is pretty cool. But anyway, that's the news, guys. That's the news on Hrgovic. That's the news on what's going on with his career. And stay tuned. It sounds from what he's told me, it sounds like he's going to be back in the near future in 2025. So 2025 is going to be the year of redemption for Hrgovic. It's going to be a revenge tour, and I'm looking forward to seeing how they go about moving his career. Because last thing I'll say, he was a guy that it was hard for him to get fights when he was undefeated, when he was a mandatory challenger. So does that trend continue, or do managers and the power players in boxing and fighters themselves, do they finally draw confidence from the fact that Dubois was able to stop him and think that they can do the same? And is it going to be easier for Hrgovic to get fights? That's what I want to find out. So yeah, let me know what you guys think, guys, in the comments. Let me know, who do you think Hrgovic should fight right away off of the loss? Who do you think he should fight? Should it be a guy with a name, or should it be maybe like a guy like I said, like Guido Vianello? Leave your comments down below. Make sure you guys take the time to subscribe. And like I say in every single one of these videos, you can love me or you can hate me, but I'm just a kid from Daniel. So until next time, take care. Thank you for watching another video on the untouchable True School Sports Empire. For more great boxing content just like this, make sure you guys click right over here. Keep watching my boy BT put on the best interviews out here.